Welcome to this week's devotion. It's entitled, What Should I Wear? This is the Be Strong series. We're in Ephesians chapter 6, verse 13. This time of year here in the Northeast, it's not always that easy to know what to wear. The weather changes pretty abruptly. It can be really cold or quite warm. I have a box of sweaters that I usually bring out at a certain time of year, the winter, and I still have them in the box. It just hasn't gotten that cold yet. I want to put away my summer clothes, and yet you'll have a week like this week where it's going to be 77, 80 degrees. So it's very sporadic in weather changing. So my closet has to be quite vast. So what I wear often depends on, number one, the weather. Number two, what events are going on that particular day. Some people don't care much about what they wear, their slip-on, anything. They just want to be comfortable. They don't care about style. They just show up with whatever they feel comfortable with. Well, what we're going to learn today is not about what we should wear naturally, but what we must wear spiritually. We already heard in verse 10 of Ephesians to put on what? The whole armor of God, so that you what? Can stand. Stand what? Strong against the enemy. Last week, we learned about more in depth on what the enemy is. That the battle that we're facing isn't flesh and blood, but against what? It says in verse 12, against the authorities of the unseen world, against mighty powers in the dark world, evil rulers, evil spirits in the heavenly places. Therefore, we put on every piece of God's armor. So that's where we are in the verse 13 is the therefore. Because of what we learned in verse 12, therefore, we, again, reemphasizing, put on. There's something we spiritually must put on every day. Just like a soldier in the army, they don't have options of what to wear, what not to wear. They need to put on their uniform. That's how it is. They don't have an option. They need to be ready for whatever training is or whatever battle they're about to face. Likewise, we in Christ have realized that we are in a spiritual war, a spiritual battle, and therefore we're not like civilians who can just choose what to wear, what not to wear. Spiritually, we must put on the armor of God every day. And if we're going to walk in victory, our life depends on it. If somebody is not equipped, not prepared, not have your uniform on, not have weapons in their hand, then they're open targets. In Christ, we are under his divine protection. But if we don't put on the armor of God, we are open targets. The Bible also says in 1 Peter 5:8, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. You might have seen some television shows that show, animals and wildlife and how it is, especially with lions, whom they go after. Usually they go after the weak. Even though they're strong, mighty animals, it's easier for them to get a hold of the weak. So if they see an animal away from their parents, that's whom they're going to, if they see an animal who has an injury, that's whom they're going to devour, go after. They're waiting, lurking. And so is the devil, waiting and lurking for us. So we can't afford to take a day off, take a moment off. We need the armor on every day. So the next few weeks, we're going to learn about every piece of that armor because it'll build our confidence in what we have in Christ. But we have this promise in Isaiah 54:17 that no weapon that is fashioned against us shall succeed. And we shall refute every tongue that rises against us in judgment. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their vindication from me, declares the Lord. That is an awesome promise to stand on. No weapon formed against me. We can declare that every day. We need to declare that every day. And in Christ, that is reality. If we have the armor on, nothing can penetrate. Nothing can take us out. Nothing can take us down. We just got to have the armor on. We got to be ready. We can't take life lightly. Can't take the enemy lightly. No matter how long we've been saved, no matter what position we have now in Christ, or, if we're a pastor or an elder or a deacon or whatsoever, the enemy is still after us. He's even more after us. He knows if he can take the leader out, he can, like a domino effect, he can take a whole people down with him. So we got to stand on this promise, and we got to put the armor on. It also says here in verse 13, let me read fully that verse. Therefore, put on every piece of God's armor so you will be able to resist the enemy in the time of evil. Then after the battle, you will be standing firm. So you see the key word there, resist. So just because we have the armor on doesn't mean the enemy leaves us alone. He's not just looking for those who don't have armor on. He will try to get us to take our armor off. He'll try to tempt us. He will try to, the battles will continue no matter if we have the armor on or off. But with the armor on, we can resist the enemy. And so James 4:7 says, submit to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. So in every battle, we have options. Do I handle this in my own strength, or do I handle this in God's strength with his armor? When I handle it with God's strength, we walk in victory. If we handle it our way in our own strength, we will be defeated. So we have to choose each moment in every battle how we're going to respond. God's way or our way. Victory or defeat. That's how it is every day. As for me and my house, as Joshua says in the book of Joshua, I will serve the Lord, meaning I will do things God's way. That's my heart's desire. I love walking in victory, walking in God's authority, seeing the hand of the Lord on my life, seeing me go from victory to victory, from glory to glory, to see his divine protection over my family, over my finances, over the things that he's blessed me with. I know that's your desire as well. So put on that armor. Take the time every day to wait on the Lord so he can clothe you. Then you can go forward in your day with confidence, knowing that God has your back. God has your front. God will take care of you. He will protect you. God bless you. Hope this has encouraged you. See you next time.